Hello, Council. I'm Mike Mayea. Thanks for letting me visit with you for these 3 minutes. I appreciate your standing up, trying to do the same. Unlike Field of Dreams, Bend does not have to build it so they come. If Bend lets them, they will build it. In other words, if we let someone build the university at Juniper RIdge, they will. By opening up the urban growth boundary, we can solve affordable housing, jobs, and we can give the ability to thrive back to the city council, the Bend manager, and our own citizen hands. We all need to unite and support the city council and get the power back to you so we can grow the city to react in real time, or at least timely, to things like what I think the city council had a great plan with Juniper RIdge. We just need to back you up and let you do it. In order to have its way, OSU Cascades wants to have 10 acres right here. This big pit here is the pumice mine and the 4 dumps. Here's the Bend Bulletin right there. Look how little space there is right there. Now look at Juniper RIdge. It's this whole area here. They don't even want to let us add enough land to the UGB to include all of Juniper RIdge that's not already in the UGB. Think about that. We're 10 years late on our UGB expansion or more, and they want to cut it down from our original 8 square miles or 10 square miles to less than what we could add a full-scale university. Until recently, all the "in my views" in the bulletin were from a drug addict or an alcoholic and how OSU Cascade saved them. Over time, they tended to get a little more honest and straightforward. This article was just out May 19th, 2015, and it's unparalleled. It's unbelievably clear. I don't know how to say in strong enough terms. Please see this in my view. This is the way the United States is supposed to work. Each state does what comes naturally. Over time, we've tiptoed our way into the federal union, or the United State. The federal government has a pretty clear MO. When you catch it doing something wrong, it tries to take up a new project or a new issue or a new tax and a new program which does only more harm. Over the decades since 1980, when the federal government did not like the diagnosis of them causing me disability to my spinal cord, they threw me off the ship. And for a lot of years, I just struggled and decided to try to let other people know what happened to me because that seemed like a good thing to do with a bad deal. So I tried to warn in 2010 and 2011, that's when all this document was drawn up for me, tried to warn about what would happen when everyone got on the federal health care ship. Well, Obamacare happened, and it has nothing to do with President Obama, but it has everything to do with the federal government starting yet another program to cover up for the fact that it has too many programs. Imagine having a back problem and the VA system only allows you in a cage that you can't stand up straight in. That's somewhat analogous to what I've been going through because I live in Bend, Oregon, and they can get away with it because I'm out of reach. On the right-hand side, you can see the ACA, or the federalization of your health care if you're a civilian. I was really upset as a child when this person from OSHA couldn't tell an air compressor from a Volkswagen engine and tried to get us to put a shroud on the Volkswagen engine. That's when I realized there was a problem. That was perhaps 1972. I respect unions, but when they claim to be afraid of mice, when they name the union the National Education Association to trick us into thinking they're federal, when they tell us we cannot trust teachers because they'll teach to the test and they're the teachers, I think we have something to worry about. The one thing that's worked in my life is ibuprofen. For swelling and a spinal cord disease, I've taken approximately 5 gallons waiting for the VA to come around. It's a very good thing that union people are paid well. But what's happened is our whole society has sort of faded and corroded until the only good jobs left are in the public sector. So hoping to go to here, I end up having to go to the VA. But if you work for the government, you've got cost of living adjustments and you're set. It would be unfair to point out unions without pointing out that banks do 10 times more harm to our government and our way of life than any union does. But union has turned things upside down with the federal government and taken a functioning system represented by this pyramid and turned the top of it upside down. So instead of a detached federal eye, we have the king of the hill. These are some of the ways that the VA has harmed me and kept me from getting medical help, which I'm currently with a certain senator's office still trying to get help with a neurological problem caused by doctors. If we keep what's perfect about the United States, we follow what Benjamin Franklin taught us. When we have individual states, some people can rip us off and overcharge for bread, while others can almost give bread away, and that way industry can happen and people don't starve. When everybody's in one state called the United States, there's nowhere to go. If we let a university go right there, there's not much we can do with it. If we put it over here, there's all this area here. Plus there's the other cities. Plus there's 100 square miles of land to do any number of things like an airspace or to do projects from the hub of Juniper RIdge. Let's start Juniper RIdge. James Earl Jones once again said, if you build it, they'll come. All Bend has to do is let them. If we let them, they'll come build it. Thank you, Council. I appreciate this chance to show up and visit with you.